A nice job on the win today. How did you guys pull this off? You barely practiced. You haven't played in 3 weeks. Two of your best guys are sitting out, and you beat one of the best teams in the league. How'd you
I
do
just
it?
think we uh, ultra confidence, and we just had so much more energy than them. And I feel like we carried through that, not just in the first half, but we knew to beat that we had to carry over in the second half, and we did that. And we had a lot of fun playing the game today.
Uh, how did you guys approach this, knowing that you wouldn't have Jay out there, you wouldn't have Dwight out there? Did you guys do anything different, or it seemed like you guys played a typical game for you guys? You didn't do anything drastically different despite the absences.
Yeah, we really didn't do anything different. We just knew some of the guys had to step up and just play with more confidence because DJ and JP are our guys, and with them out, we just have to. Everyone's got to do their job and do a little bit more because they're out.
Ben, you really talked about like shooting with confidence and playing with confidence, and it really seemed like it showed today because you were sinking threes, BVP was sinking threes, Jalen White was 3 for 3 on 3-pointers today. Like, what really just clicked there today? You guys were shooting like 52% from the 3-point range. What really clicked?
I think coming back from being in quarantine, we really were emphasizing getting up shots, and every day before, after practice, and just seeing it pay off in the game. It's a great thing to see, and we're just continue to do that.
Who I know you're a team and you see these guys all year long, but was it Jalen's 3-pointers? Was it the way Colin and Ryfin competed on the glass despite not playing a lot this year? What surprised you about how some of those guys stepped up?
I just think the whole bench just stepped up and gave us great energy. They had great production. They did everything they needed to do, and that really helped us on the court, and it gave us even more energy when we were taking a break or something. They were doing well, and we were just cheering them on, and we were just having a lot of fun.
How's this energy going to transfer over to the next few games? You know, against Eastern Michigan, against Buffalo. You guys are playing 3 games in 5 days. That's got to be tough on you guys.
Yeah, it's obviously just rest and recovery is big right now, and coming back tomorrow, watch film, do the little things, and just carry over to the game on Thursday. And if we have the same energy and effort we had this afternoon, I like our chances.
Hey, Ben, we saw you doing some things that you typically don't do. We had a shoulder shimmy, we had a chest beat there 1 or 2 times. Could you describe the edge or attitude that you tried to play with today, and maybe how that helped you guys?
Yeah, I just think trying to be more aggressive and not just be a 3-point shooter is a big thing for me, and learning how to pick my spots. And today I was able to do so, and I'm just gonna continue to do that.
Was it important for you guys to no matter how this showed up, not back down against Akron, considering how that first game played out? Was there a conscious effort for you guys to not give an inch in anything, whether it was trash talk or just play on the court?
Yeah, we feel like that first game, they kind of punked us. They kind of hit us in the mouth, and we didn't really do too much to come back at them. So we really wanted to come in today and show them that we can do the same thing to them, and we did that.
In the first half, they were pretty good on the offensive glass. They had 9 offensive rebounds. What adjustments did you guys make at halftime to kind of limit that and stop and force them only really 6 rebounds in the second half?
Yeah, we really emphasized, in me especially in Lundo, we kind of talked and said we got to rebound, we got to help out Ben, Colin, and Rife and all them, and we did that the second half. I feel like that was a big difference in the game.
Ben, could you explain something to me? Most times when Ben Vander Plas gets the ball in and around the lane, the entire bench is going church, church, church. Could you describe what that means exactly and what that signifies when your bench is saying that?
He's just gonna take him to church, and he's gonna make the shot. That's what it means.
Could you describe what it was like to be out of basketball for the last 3 weeks?
It wasn't fun because it wasn't fun being at home, being sick and all, and coming back. You gotta get your wind back. You got condition. It definitely wasn't fun, but being back out here playing the game with all my teammates was awesome.
Any part of you surprised at how well you guys played it? I thought you guys would have like 15 turnovers, maybe not shoot the ball well. There's all these kinds of things that you would attribute to timing, and that didn't really show up today. Did that surprise you at all?
Not really. I just think it was our confidence. I think Coach Boals said just go in with extreme confidence. I think we did that. And if you have confidence that you're going to make the shot, get a stop on defense, it really affects the game, and it positively affected us today.
Mr. Vander Plas, I'm going to ask you what I asked Ben Roderick there. When you're working on the block, do you hear that? Do you hear that from your bench? They're screaming church, and you use that assortment of moves that you have to make something happen.
Yeah, I definitely hear them. We're not really sure where it came from. Coach LT a couple months ago, someone would get the ball just one-on-one, take them to church. Still don't really know what it means, but it just gives me a little bit of confidence down there that of the ability to finish. So yeah, I definitely hear those guys.
Ben Roderick talked about confidence. I assume you feel the same way. That was a huge part in how you guys played today, and again showing some attitude and some verve to not back down against one of the better teams in the league.
Yeah, it was definitely a focus of ours. Coach has been talking about it the last 2 days. It's just playing with like the most confidence we've had all season. Everybody coming back expects us to maybe not play as well, but we had a different mindset. We wanted to come in and just perform. We were all excited to be back out here, and yeah, it's just a great feeling.
How do you think this win is going to transfer over to the next few games this week? You guys are playing, 3 games in 5 days. You guys are probably going to be tired. You're missing JP and Dwight Wilson still. How's this going to carry over for the next week? How's this going to carry that confidence?
Yeah, I think a big part of it is for some of the guys who got a couple extra minutes that they normally might not have. Jalen coming in and hitting those shots, that's so big for us. Ryfin and Colin just fighting every single play for us down low. Just Mark coming in and playing the starting point guard. Those guys coming in, getting those minutes right off of this big break is huge for us. They all performed today, and they really bought into what Coach was talking about with the confidence, and that's definitely going to carry over for everybody on the team for the next couple of days. Like, we see that, and that just gets everybody going.
This is your 4th year with the team. Considering the circumstances going into this game, would you say this is one of the most impressive performances you've been a part of?
Yeah, definitely. Coming off of at least 10 days for a lot of us of just not even being able to get into a gym, not being able to touch a basketball. I think that we just did a great job over the last couple of days preparing for this. Everybody really bought into getting as much extra work in as possible before and after practice, like B-Rod was talking about, getting extra conditioning in, just doing whatever they can to get back to playing shape. And I've talked about it with a lot of people. This is the first time in my life that coming towards the end of a season, you get a little bit of time off, get your body right, get all the bumps and bruises out of the way. So, my body's feeling pretty good. I know a lot of guys are feeling the same way. So we kind of looked at it in a positive way a little bit, an opportunity to just kind of reset, get everybody back healthy as possible. But yeah, over the last couple of days, everybody's just done a phenomenal job just preparing to come back and perform. And yeah, this was one of the most fun, interesting games I've been a part of, definitely.
Ben, tell me a little bit about that quarantine, not just for you, but like if you talk to any of your other teammates, like how's it really gone? Like, I know you guys couldn't condition, you couldn't come to practice, but like, have you guys done workouts at home? Like, if anything you could do, did the coaches send you anything? Like, what did you guys really do in that off time, trying to, pass the time, getting anxious for the next game?
For me, it was a lot of Xbox. I'm just kidding, but our strength coach, Coach Azo, he sent us some home body weight workouts that we could do, some stretching stuff, just trying to do whatever we can to kind of do some body maintenance stuff. Being stuck in our room for however long it was, it's hard to get conditioning in, especially with the weather we have the last couple of weeks, just not being able to run because there's ice everywhere. So yeah, it was kind of a struggle trying to figure out what we could do in the room, but I think everybody really did everything they could. And yeah, I think we kind of saw that today. Everybody came back and was ready to go.
Hey, Ben, could you touch on the physicality you guys played with today? Colin Granger's played in like 5 games all season. Ryfin hasn't played in a game in over 6 weeks now. And somehow, some way, you guys match their intensity, match their physical nature. Could you describe some reasons why that happened?
I think a big part of it for us, first game of the MAC season this year, they came out and just punked us the entire game. It was, watching that film was just ugly. Like, they dominated us. So I think we had that taste in our mouth that we wanted to come out and do the same to them, which I think we did today. Yeah, a lot of guys just fighting for rebounds. B-Rod's coming in and grabbing those boards, just grown man rebounds. Love seeing that. But Obviously, it got a little chippy at the end. You never want to see that, but I think the first 37 minutes of the game was really well done by us. Just being physical, doing what we need to do to get the job done today.
So moving forward, Ben, there can't be any excuses for you guys. Like today was like excuse central, right? Like you couldn't, why you wouldn't play well, why you couldn't win a game. Moving forward, like a meteor could hit the building, and you guys are still supposed to win the game after something like this, right?
Yeah, that's actually something that Coach texted us the day before we got back to practice. He texted us and said, I mean, people are going to try to give you every excuse in the world now. You haven't practiced, played, whatever. He just didn't want to hear it. We all kind of bought into that. None of us wanted to make any excuses. So we came out with a winning mentality. Just we weren't going to use what just happened over the past 2 weeks to say that that's why we didn't do this, didn't do that. We wanted to win the game. And yeah, I think that's definitely something that we're going to carry over to our next couple of games. We can say, oh, we got 3 games, 5 days, blah blah blah. No, we don't want any of that. We're not buying into that. We're going to come out and we're going to try to win all these games with everything we got.
All right. I imagine it's got to be super rewarding for you, Jeff. I know this was the messaging for your club going in. No excuses. We're here to win, and with a lot of things working against you guys, you got to. How did that materialize? How did that happen?
Well, number one, I want to give a lot of credit to Jared Azar, our strength coach. Tyler Congrove, our trainer, our assistant coaches. Those guys did a great job of getting guys up to speed as much as we could. And we had 10 guys available for this game, and guys who had not played a lot of minutes. You had Colin Granger's first start. Ryford Miguel had been on 2 different quarantines. Jalen White hadn't played the whole year. And I think there was a great sense of calm having, 3 starters in there. Marcus started, 4 starters. But I want to give those guys a lot of credit. I didn't know what to expect. And, it's hard to simulate game speed, conditioning, et cetera. But, give our guys a lot of credit for believing. And, they played with a lot of confidence.
Coach, that's another thing that all the players that Ben and BVP had talked about before we talked to you, confidence. And it seemed like you guys really played with a lot more, especially among like the younger guys, like you said, Ryford and Jalen hadn't played very little, if at all. And it seemed like they're just like sinking threes like it's nobody's business, and they're just making these really big plays. Like, how does this really, coming off a 21-day break, how does this really translate for the rest of the season?
Well, I think, a great shot in the arm for guys, to win a game like that without, 2 starters and a couple other guys. Like I said, we were down 4 guys because Nolan really wasn't going to play. Nolan hasn't practiced in, 6-7 weeks. And, came in at the end to give those guys a break, a rest. But the last thing we told them coming out of the locker room was, play with confidence. If you're open, shoot the ball. If they're on you, drive the ball. And I think, you have 17, 12, 10, 12, 8, and 9, shooting 50, whatever percent, 53%, 77 guys did a great job of sharing the ball and playing with confidence.
What did you guys do differently today from a basketball standpoint than you did in the first meeting with Akron?
Yeah, I think, we got way too extended and spread out. Jackson's great off of ball screens, and he really drives a lot of the times to draw, 2 or 3 defenders to kick the wide open shooters. I thought we did a phenomenal job on the ball, limiting, for the most part. You're not going to stop him from, getting angles in the paint. We did a great job on Trimble. Game 1, he really hurt us. I thought he was 4 for 6 at halftime. Must have been a mistake with the stat sheet, but to hold him 3 for 6, he had been on fire, even though he, still shot 50%. But, rebounding was huge, especially in the second half. They got 9 in the offensive rebounds in the first half, 6 in the second. So that was really big, in the second half.
How do you package this and carry it forward, Jeff? It's one thing to buy into the message of we're here to win the game, no excuses, no excuses. Okay, but now reality hits you. You did it once, now you got to do it again in 48 hours. How do you, or what do you take from a performance like this and apply going forward?
Well, I think, the biggest thing is, you the 4-game winning streak and whatever it was, 7-9 before, or half-court defense and rebounding was the key. And I thought we did a great job, starting the game, starting the half, both halves, getting out to that lead, which gave us confidence. And, I thought our half-court defense was really good. To hold them to 38%, 25% from three, it was huge. And, it's a quick turnaround. I love what the Big 12's doing. The Big 12 came out and said, we're not letting teams play 3 out of 5 games, 4 out of 8 games coming into the conference tournament for health reasons. But unfortunately, we got a quick turnaround here, less than 48 hours later, with minimal guys. So, Jason will be back hopefully Thursday. Dwight's deal was not non-COVID health protocol related. We'll get sent back hopefully soon. And like I said before, I think maybe Saturday or early next week we'll have a full roster, hopefully.
You broke up a little bit there, Jeff. You were explaining about Dwight. Could you repeat that? I assume it was something to do with conditioning or clearance for him, or is this something else entirely? Dwight Wilson.
His is an injury, non-COVID health related. But so I don't know, when he'll be back, but hopefully soon.
Coach Mark Sears is on Lauren Christian Jackson pretty much the entire game. Was that a matchup that he was really excited about going in because he'd be covering the top scorer in the conference?
Well, I mean, you go back and look at what he's done all year, right, Joe? Like nothing's phased the kid, and I think that's who he is. And to ask him to, number one, play 32 minutes and run the team, and number two, guard him and chasing all those ball screens, like he's got to be exhausted. And I know he was 5 for 15, but it had 12.7 rebounds and 9 assists. And 2020 hindsight, we should have played him more up there when we played him, because he's so slippery and getting in the lane when he wants to. And I thought he was outstanding today.
Do you have any idea that Jalen White would impact the game the way he did? I know you've got to play who you got available, but did you expect him to provide pivotal moments like he did this afternoon?
It's funny you say that, because our staff was talking before the game. He's the one guy that really hadn't had an opportunity this year. So he didn't know what he was going to do. And for him to come in and I told him before the game, I told him a shoot around. If he's wide open and he doesn't shoot the ball, I'm going to pull him right back out. And, we wanted him to play with confidence. And the one thing he does great is make shots. And those were 3 really big shots that he hit.
Is this as satisfying a win as you've had in your time here at Ohio, Jeff? Given guys not available to break and all that stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, to go through what these kids went through, and to like I said, I mean, when we came back, different guys came back different days. I mean, we didn't have 5v5 in practice till maybe, I don't know, Friday, and then we went really light on Saturday, and to come out the way they did says a lot about who they are and their preparation. And like I said, our staff did a great job of getting extra shots up with them, watching film with them. And it's going to be different tomorrow. We'll probably do nothing with the guys who played, and try to get the guys who didn't play just some more conditioning. So yeah, most definitely awesome win. Proud of these guys.
Was there a conscious effort today to also match Akron in terms of physicality, in terms of attitude? Your guys seem to play with more of a chip than at other points this year. Was that a point of emphasis coming into this one, given how the first game played out?
Yeah, definitely. Because I thought in game 1 they pushed us off of screens. They did a lot of things defensively, and we wanted to be more physical and set screens, rebound the basketball, and They come at you in waves and when they offensive rebound, and we got enough loose balls in the second half. First half I thought that's really what kept them in the game. You know, they had 11 points off their rebounds with 9 offensive rebounds. You know, we were +9. You know, and it could have been a double-figure lead. You know, if you get 3 or 4 more of those defensive rebounds, and they had kick-out threes. But you know, I thought our guys set the tone for the game and you know, controlled the whole game.
Would you consider this game a point of maturity for a lot of your younger players or players that are coming off the bench? You know, like you said, or like we talked about, Jalen hasn't seen a lot of action. You know, Mason and Colin are underclassmen. Do you consider this point like a really good step in their development as really key pieces or key pieces coming off the bench for Ohio?
Yeah, I think it's big, you know, for their conference, right? And then to come out and have an opportunity and produce during your opportunity. And I've said it plenty of times. You know, my first year, I played 39 minutes the whole year, and it can be very frustrating. And you know, the fact that those guys continue to work hard, and like I said, our staff gets them in, gets extra shots up, and to have those guys come in with the opportunity that they had and produce was absolutely huge for us to win the game.
Coach Miles had 12 points in the second half, including 10 for 12 from the free throw line. I think at one point, DJ said on the sideline, he called him Mr. Free Throw when he was at the line. How big was he, especially down the stretch and knocking down those key free throws?
Yeah, so you guys don't really see it, but in shoot around, we always have a free throw contest to end every shoot around. And Miles was the champion today. And, you know, so they kept on yelling, you know, free throw champ, free throw champ. And, you know, it was great to see him step up and knock those shots in because, you know, when they cut it to, I think, 12 or 14, you know, you start missing those free throws, they're pressing, you know, and you don't make those free throws to extend your lead. You know, I think that's what great teams do. And you know, Miles was huge, obviously, like you said, going 10 for 12 from the foul line.
Hey, Jeff, something I heard throughout the course of the game today was your bench, whenever BVP got the ball in the block, saying church, church, church. When was the last time you took someone to church?
That's a great question. There's 700 games in here in this combo. Man, maybe once. That might have been in practice.
But more to the point with Ben, is that something that you've had to get on him about, or something that's still in progress with him, that willingness to take one-on-one matchups, because he does tend to be a team-centric guy?
Yeah, I think, you know, the way they guard, they switch a lot. And, you know, we wanted to try to get some mismatches in there in the post. And you know, he's a great inside-out threat for us. You know, he's probably as tough a matchup as anybody in the league because he can post up. He can, you know, shoot the three. And, you know, without, you know, DJ in there, without JP in there, and we wanted to make it a point to get him the ball. You know, and if they double teamed him, which they started doing, you know, kicking out cutters or wide open threes, just to make something happen. And you know, he was really good. I mean, 4 assists, 1 turnover, 2 steals, 17 points, 9 rebounds, you know, playing 34 minutes.
Anything that you want to say about this game, Jeff, or the prospects for playing a team for the first time on Thursday? Does that change your formula, or you guys simply in survival mode at this point? Rest up and let's get back after it Thursday.
The big thing for us is, you know, take it day by day, and that's what we talked about when we came back, you know, off the pause, is control today. You know, do everything you can to be the best you can be. And that's hydration, sleep, rest, ice bath, eat. You know, take your vitamins, etc. Stretch. And, you know, tomorrow is going to be a new day. And, you know, who knows after 21 days off, playing 37, 34, 32, 30 minutes, how they're going to respond to that. You know, so Thursday, even more so, you know, the bench is going to be huge as well. You know, trying to, you know, get guys some rest and, you know, but we'll worry about Thursday on Thursday.
Do you feel like you locked up a spot in the tournament with today?
I'm sorry, Jason?
Do you feel like you locked up a spot in the tournament by winning today? Do you care?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I didn't know if you'd mathed that out yet or not.
Yeah, I'm not real good at that stuff. And, you know, when you start looking ahead like that, you know, I think bad things happen. You know, I think the big thing for us, like we talked about the other day, is just really building up to get back to where we were on a consistent basis heading into March 11th. And, it's got to be an everyday deal, and tomorrow I told the guys, like, our film session has to be our practice. We got to carry over film, and it's tough because they play zone for 40 minutes.
Yep.
You can't simulate that length, but we'll see what we can do.